AI, as we know it, is basically artificial intelligence. It's artificial. The actual intelligence itself is domiciled in human beings. Whatever training data that you see AI running on are what is gathered or is being trained with by professionals based on human interactions. And one of the things that makes AI what it is what human beings define it to be.
And I would say that the percentage of people that are ready for what is actually not even coming, what is here, is very low.
But the future for us is how can we get to that place where we ought to be, where we want to be as Africans. And as Africans, in the next 10 years, in the next 5 years, we're supposed to be the market for the world. We're supposed to be the one building the technology. The infrastructures are supposed to be here.
Welcome to the Future Podcast, where we explore the ideas, technologies, and decisions shaping the future of work, learning, and human potential. Between 2021 and today, no technology has changed our life more rapidly than artificial intelligence. AI isn't just changing software, it's changing careers, education, businesses, and even how we define intelligence itself.
My name is Jeremiah Moses, and I'm your host for the Future Podcast.
My name is EKXL. I'm your co-host for the Future Podcast. And together with us in the studio in this podcast, we have amazing guests. We have beautiful people that have gathered experience in life and are ready to share their stories. So without wasting much of your time, I'd like to introduce our guests, starting from this beautiful lady over here.
Hello, my name is Inyolua and I'm a legal practitioner.
My name is John, and I'm also a legal practitioner.
My name is Olua Sheung. I'm a banker. I work in the micro lending space.
Wow, fantastic. Do not be afraid. Do not be scared. I know we have a lot of lawyers in the house. So we just, they have gathered experience in different aspects of law and they're here to share their experience. Now, without wasting much of our time, let's get into the bone of contention, starting with the main question in everybody's mind. What is this question? Is AI going to take my job? Where do we go from here? A lot of people are asking the question, is AI going to take my job? Mr. Jerry, is AI going to take our job?
I don't think that's even a valid question anymore. It was maybe a few months ago. Um, AI is taking a lot of jobs, and we can see already the dynamics, the patterns to which um, task or repetitive task can be taken. Like I said in our last event, that if your job is centered around a task, repetitive task, something that can be easily done by a machine, something mathematical, something computational, then at some point, there's an intelligence that will be able to do it better. Even for yourself, you would know that it's not something to invest your time in as much. So I think the conversation is still right. People are still asking questions because as of today, you still have people still enjoying what they are doing, but there are models that are being built to even become more sophisticated to be able to do all of those things. So I think the conversation is now around, okay, when is he going to do this part of my job? And then what can I do to be better positioned to do the things that actually matter to what I call my job than just stay in the dream mode and say that, oh, is he going to take my job or not? I think that's the conversation that it should be about right now. So
Okay, fantastic. So it's not just that AI is taking jobs, is that we need to be sure exactly what jobs this AI is taking. And going forward, I would like you, Mr. John, to speak to what are the what are the things human beings can, keep to ourselves that AI can't, AI can't try to take. So I want you to speak around the emotional intelligence part because from research we found out that AI don't have these experiences. They have the knowledge, but they don't have the experience. Can you speak, around that area for us? Like talk to us on.
Oh, yes, definitely. So, AI, as we know it, is basically artificial intelligence. It's artificial. The actual intelligence itself is domiciled in human beings. Whatever training data that you see AI running on are what is gathered or is being trained with by professionals based on human interactions. And one of the things that makes AI what it is what human beings define it to be, to mean. And what do I mean by that? All the training data, the algorithms, they are what it has learned, the behavioral patterns of actual human beings that AI has learned. So, one of the things that AI cannot take away from human beings is our emotional intelligence. These are machines. Our emotions make us humans. Technology has tried time and time again to try to replicate human beings in its actual sense, but they have failed. One of the reasons they have failed is because of the complexities of the human mind, which is where emotions reside. So, artificial intelligence, as we know it, will try to do a lot of things, has tried to do a lot of things, but cannot replicate our emotional intelligence. And this is where I think that we humans have to hold our humanity dearly. Because if AI takes everything away, let it not take your humanity away. And where your humanity resides, it's in your emotions, the way you relate with other people, the way you judge situations, the way your creative processes, the way your leadership capacity, your adaptability, all these things are what makes you unique as a human being. And if you're going to lose yourself to I don't think it should be in the area of emotional intelligence. So yes.
Fantastic. So now we understand that we must, protect what makes us human.
Humans, yes.
Because, at the World Forum, I think, a conversation around we think, then we are. And now from that conversation, we realize, okay, I think.
As well.
Yes, they are not thinking, are they now us?
Yes.
So with this, your point, I think it has shown more light into the area that, humans will always be human. At the end of the day, the human touch will always, be part of what makes the product or what makes the results better. Okay, let's talk about Mr. Shion. Let's talk about, you know, the future, because we understand that AI is changing the future of work, the future of learning, the future of education. What can you say about the future? I want you to contextualize it in African, make it African based. What is the future for Africans in based on the emerging technologies? Where do we see ourselves in the next 5, 10 years?
Okay, thank you. If I'm going to look at the future for Africa, you know, sometimes when you want to look at it at that level, you begin to look at where we're coming from, where we are, and where we want to be. So the future for Africans, I don't like to sound pessimistic, but it's not looking like what we think it is. It's not as glamorous as it is today. And if the trend continues, it might not be better, because right now we're consumer of even the technology that is evolving. So it's developed somewhere else. We are here. We don't have the infrastructure. We don't have the so many things are part of the problem that bring us to this point. But the future for us is how can we get to that place where we ought to be, where we want to be as Africans. And as Africans, in the next 10 years, in the next 5 years, we're supposed to be the market for the world. We're supposed to be the one building the technology. The infrastructures are supposed to be here. The data centers are supposed to be here. So, and if we're going to get there, we have to start now. We can't wait. I know we have builders, we have people around who are doing good works, but we need more. If Africa is going to get to that point where we are the center of attraction for the world, we need more. We need more builders, we need more thinkers. And so we need it now and not tomorrow. We need it now.
Not in the future.
Not in the future. Not the future is now. This is the future.
Yes.
This is the future. So you and I, now we have to start. And that's why we're here to have this conversation. So the future of Africa is that Africans must take responsibility for building Africa. We cannot wait for them to export something to us. We cannot wait for somebody to come and build. The future is now. So for us as Africans, for us as Nigerians, it's time to go to work. It's time to put on the thinking cap wherever you are, at whatever level. Let's start. Let's start building. Let's start thinking. Let's start innovating. Let's start creating. And so the future is already with us. So we can't be talking up. When you ask me the future, I'm like, okay, what are we talking about? This is the future.
This is the future. Well, you've heard him. This is the future. And in this future, it's like all of you are too serious. This conversation is so serious that, come on. So, as a legal practitioner, can you talk to us about policies, about privacies, about, exposing our data, Africa not having enough data, the models being biased, hallucinating? Tell us, walk us around some of your thought processes.
That's a really good question, and it's really topical. So, we have privacy laws. I'll start with that. In Nigeria, we have Data Protection Act, and that really focuses on personal data. So, personal data is your name, your age, your religious, affiliation, political affiliation, data that would uniquely identify you, sensitive data. Now, the thing that artificial intelligence introduces into that mix is how easy it is for the models that are trained or learn can access our personal data. Because now you can access AI as easily as you can access Google or Bing or other search engines, right? So, what is important really is more people being aware actually of the safeguards that are required under the law as to how you treat personal data. So I think ordinarily people would think about, I don't want to give out my confidential data to what they think is confidential, their own data. But when you're dealing with other people's data and you're feeding it into your chat GPT, and you're just putting it there, oh, GPT, help me do this X, Y, Z. You need to think about that as to, should I be doing that? Can I anonymize this data that I'm feeding into the AI system so that I can still get results, but I am making sure that I'm following appropriate safeguards, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So to speak to that, well, I know the conversation is getting hotter. To speak to that, so where do you leave bankers? Where do you leave auditors? Where do you leave healthcare workers that they're trying to use these AIs? How do they separate, the information? Because now privacy is of importance. So how do we separate? I need to find out about a particular client, or I need to feed this data to AI and find out, how do I do this analysis? Where do they go from here?
So there's a dimension of personal data that relates to the personal subject, data subject. That's you and I, right? We're talking about banks, hospitals, and medical professionals. One way that they can lawfully do this is by simply asking for your consent, right? So if I want to use your data, process it in some way, and if that includes sharing it with AI, tell the data subjects, when you come to my medical facility that, oh, your data will be exported to this place or it's be shared with this platform, including and up to, consent is one of your best lawful bases for processing people's personal data. Another one would be legitimate purpose. Since we're talking about AI specifically, it depends on the context for you to make a reasonable argument that there's a legitimate reason why you're processing my health data or my health status through an AI system that I did not envision. So I would say consent would be your best bet. Bankers, auditors, professional services, anywhere really, to say, because it's part of life now. It's the way we operate now. So yeah, that would be a really good first step.
Thank you so much, Mr. Jerry. What can you say about the dynamics of emerging technology, not just AI? I want you to put it side by side with the people, right? I want you to put it side by side with the people. Are the people ready for these tools? That's the question. Are we ready for these tools where we are as the people? Are we ready for these tools?
Okay, thank you so much, Excel. So one of the reasons why this became a burning desire in me was because I I was privileged to be exposed to certain things very early professionally, and I look around me, I look around what we are doing here. Of course, we are doing great work, like Shion said, and I just see the gap that currently exists, and the gap is so wide from the educational system to, I mean, we all experienced it, to governance, to a lot of other things, especially in our own context in Africa, in Nigeria. And I would say that the percentage of people that are ready for what is actually not even coming, what is here, is very low. Shane was talking about how that we are consumers of technology. That's a different conversation on its own, because being able to use a tool or being able to navigate your path around tools that are built and exported to you, and then some of these tools, your data is sold, and then the tools are sold back to you. You subscribe to use them. It's a different conversation. We're not there yet when it comes to even building these things. We are not there yet when it comes to even consuming these things to be even more efficient as individuals. But that's why we're having these conversations. So you want to look at um, a lot of things from the very, very granular educational system. Does it prepare you for the future of work? Does it prepare you for what you're doing today? And even at work, like, do you consider your work at some point as, oh, is this something I want to do for a long time? Like, is it just for personal or temporary gratification? There are a lot of things that, if we continue talking about it today, we might not live here. Things are attitudinal, mindset, things that are related to policies, systems that we must consider. So it's not just about me, whether I'm ready to use the technology or when I'm happy or excited to have it around me. There are a lot of things that makes it um, profitable for a nation. There are things that makes it profitable to me as an individual. If I do those things, I'll be happy, I'll smile. But beyond me, we need to build a nation. We need to build systems that work. So there are pockets of things in different places. As an individual now, I am a nascent tech enthusiast. I want to learn. When VR was up, I wanted to know a lot about VR. I will attend different things on VR. Blockchain, I want to know about blockchain. When AI came up, I was trying to also expose myself to the knowledge that exists, because I'm curious. I want to know how to move to the next level, but not everybody is there. And the most fundamental tool that we have as a nation, as a community, as a system, is education. That is the level playing ground for everybody. If you're saying that, oh, there is no equity, there's no equality, the level playing ground for everybody should be education. The kind of information you have access to, and it doesn't have to be something mystical or too scientific. It's just that curiosity. When you send your child to school, it shouldn't be about, oh, do this and then this is the output. It should be about, okay, I'm building something in you that makes you curious, and then you become something with that curiosity. It could be whether you're a tech person or not. How to think. I think exactly. I think that's a very, very broad conversation that we should be having. That should be the fundamental conversation. So it's not about the input output thing, because right now people still use the AI thing to still do the normal things that we do. So we want to use artificial intelligence to pass your assignments, to pass your exams. It's still within the scope of what we define as excellence, or what we define as actually living a life. I think I'm going beyond myself. But yeah, we some people are ready, individuals are ready, private organizations, some of them are ready. Is government ready? That's a question.
Ready. Well, just one touch point before we pivot completely out of this concept. Let's talk about pivotal. A lot of people if you go on social media, there's a lot of, start an AI course, leave your career. What exact can I need your 2 cents? What is your take on building a career or business afresh on AI, or just integrating AI into what you have already, or just mind your business, follow your path, and just allow the noise to blow over? What do you just
Okay. So I think that's a very interesting question because that's what we face every day. So you go on any platform today, what sells the most is the newest thing. So when something looks scarce, when it looks new, people want to be a part of it. And then I think one question we don't ask enough is why? Why do I have to do this? And you look at um, the countries that are more exposed. If you notice the workforce distribution, there's not so much hype to technology. Technology is an enabler, so it helps you to do stuff. So that concept of, oh, let me move. I have friends that reach out to me. I'll be like, oh, I should not just switch to what tech program can I learn? And that's a good thing if what you're looking at it for is to enable you to be a better person in what you're doing, not just to move from one place. That's what I think actually. So there are people that for some reasons, maybe because of what they studied earlier, they might not find good expression with those other things and they want to fully pivot to tech or things that are technical or things that have more traction. It's fine. But you need to ask yourself why. And you need to look at the bigger picture. It's a systemic thing. So if all of us start building products and building apps and all of that, who's going to use them? Are we going to eat? Are we going to be eating what we are building? Or I just think there's a distribution formula that should exist. And yeah.
Thank you so much for that. That's giving lots of insights into
Yeah.
the way you're looking at me. There's something you want to say. Say it. Say it. Say it. Say it.
Well, I was just going to add that if you, there's no course that is going to that you do in 6 weeks that will make you an AI expert. Sha. I don't think so. Is there?
Yeah.
Is there?
What at this moment, I don't think we have enough AI experts to make experts.
I mean, I don't doubt that there are some. Yes, but yes, actually,
Yeah.
yes, that is valid. Yes. So I don't think that, it's part of the age. It happens with everything. I think during COVID, there were lots of all this, take this 5 week course and become this and become that. It's just part of the industry, right? It's part of people cashing in to the AI trend, the AI wave. I think what people should be concerned about is if you're really, really concerned that AI will take your job, which is automation will take your job, is to be asking, how would it take my job? Because you're probably right. If you're asking, I'm worried, it's going to, maybe it will take your job. So what you need to do is ask, how will it take my job? And plug that gap, you know, be that skill or do it different so that you're bringing something different. You're adding something to that process. Jerry was talking in the beginning that rote tasks are increasingly rendered obsolete by human beings, right? Because technology can do it really quick. So if you know that your job is primarily just that, then you probably want to repackage it, rebrand it, and make it something that offers more value. Because fundamentally, people pay for value. And the jobs that are not going anywhere are the jobs that don't replace the human value that people come for and people will pay for, right?
Mhm. Nice, Mr. John. Speak to this. Speak to this mic.
So I believe that every age comes with its own trend. Before AI, there was the internet. Before the internet, there were computers. Before computers, there were typewriters. Every age has its own innovation. And now this is the 21st century. And then it looks like the big thing happening now is AI. I wouldn't be concerned if AI is going to take my job because when the computer came, it definitely came with its risks. Some people lost their jobs. People that had their jobs were those who knew or who learned how to use the computer. Rather than being concerned about will AI take my job, why not just learn how to use AI to improve your job?
A lawyer that knows how to use
Yeah.
AI will take the job of a lawyer that does not know
Know
how
how
to
to use
use.
AI. It's just what it is. A designer that doesn't know how to use AI we'll definitely pay the designer that that knows how to use AI. If you're a doctor and you don't know how to use AI to augment whatever you're doing, you're going to, I mean, it's just learn how to use the tools. There are a lot of tools out there rather than worrying about, oh, this stuff has come to take my job. Okay, how can I learn how to use this tool so that one, I have my job and I'm still valuable in the market?
Yeah. Fantastic. Mr. Sheo?
So while they were speaking, I was just thinking about it. And the major problem I see with that idea or ideology of AI will come, it will take my job, it will do this, it will do that, is that we have been conditioned not to think. Because once something new comes, what should resonate with you is, okay, there is a leverage. I now have a leverage. So whatever I'm doing now, I have a leverage. Wherever I'm going, I have a leverage. So people are supposed to embrace what is here and use it to pivot, use it to scale. So I'm a professional, I'm in the bank. The system that I now work in, what are the limitations that are bound in those places? What can this system that is available, this AI, this leverage, what can I do with it to scale or to just make my work better? Sometimes I think, I was saying it's a problem because I think that maybe our system, our educational system, something has just conditioned us to not be able to think or critical thinking, which is fundamental to these things. Because even if you have AI, you will still have to think. You will still have to command the machine to work. You still have to give prompts. So if you cannot think clearly, you will be out. There's no two way about it. You'll be out. Because just like you said, if I have somebody who is a lawyer and can do my work faster, more accurate, more efficiently, why do I need someone who stays on the job for so long and is not even as efficient? So I think what we should be looking at is what AI is not what AI will take away from us, it's what we can take from AI to leverage and do what we do better. You might not really have to be a builder, but then where you are, what can you do with AI?
What can you do with AI? Where you are, ladies and gentlemen, what can you do with AI? Very, very important. These are the conversations we need to keep having, and a lot of the points you raised all came down to our educational system. Oh God, one day we'll talk about this system. Some of the conversations we've had over time, we're talking about in education. We're not going to dwell in education. What does intelligence mean right now in this age and time? There was a time all you needed to do was just, cram it, pass it, and go and reproduce. Just keep reproducing what you've crammed. But now, where we have information at our fingertips, do I still need to cram? That is a question that we'll answer another day. And when we say somebody's intelligent, then that's a smart kid because he knows how to pass exam. Oh yeah, everybody cannot pass exam because they have this too. Yeah. So what can we now say is intelligence? Don't answer this question. Let's focus on the next big thing. Now, this is the future podcast. And from the conversation, we realize that the future is now. And we must start today immediately to start positioning ourselves for the future. Now, the question I want to ask, Ma, what is the cost of the future? Before you tell me the cost of the future, I want you to tell me what you think. He has talked about what the future of Africa, what it looks like for us. But what is the cost? Let's talk about the cost first. What is the cost for the future? What can I do to be saved? So that is a question.
What must?
Okay, what must I do to be saved? Because this is a question in 90% of the young people's mind. Whether we like it or not, a lot of people are asking this question. Things are changing very fast. What can I do? What must I do to be saved? Can you speak to that?
So The future is usually uncertain. I mean, we try to predict it, but as they say, nobody knows tomorrow, right?
Yeah, tomorrow.
So the cost of the future, I think, that I can say surely is expensive.
Mm.
Um, I think that, well, maybe the better question is the cost of a good future,
Mm.
because it depends on the future that we're forecasting, right?
Okay.
The cost of a good future would be discipline. It's an age-old standard for if we're trying to build a good future. We also really need to be adaptable. So we're talking about AI now because it's our reality now. It's the future that 10 years ago, 20 years ago, people were talking about. Um, we have electric vehicles now, we have self-driving cars. Um, Being able to adapt, I think, is that cost. So learning how to fit into the circumstances, the things that life will throw at you as you're moving towards that uncertain future. But if it's going to be good, I think we have to start, well, putting in safeguards now, how we interact with technology, what we use it for. To tie it to the conversation about learning La Cram Vapor institution is, how do we ensure that we're thinking critically about the things that we receive? I mean, particularly here in the global south, where we tend to be consumers more than producers. Um, how can we circumvent that just consuming, just receiving what is sent from the West or wherever it is, and actually doing something with that? And how do we do something with that? We need to develop the discipline to do it. You have to adapt. We need to get the tools that will help us to adapt to that future.
Nice,
The future
nice,
is
nice.
super uncertain.
The future is expensive. That's the one I
My
realized.
future is bright.
Your oh, it's bright and fair. Oh, happy day. I've heard you talk about exposure in the future. Can you speak to that as part of the cost of the future?
Mm.
Exposure.
Hmm. Like this is very, very personal for me because um to be very honest, we talk about these things as though, oh, um everybody should do this, you should know what to do. You're not a baby, like you see what's happening around you, you should know how to key in and all of that. But curiosity would lead you to present circumstances before you. Some of them are things that will expose you to certain things. Being able to recognize that, oh, I need to go through this pain in 6 months to learn this thing or to follow this person, to be loyal to this person for something, and that ties to vision. So curiosity, exposure. You have a vision primarily, sure. Then you're curious. You're not stopping. You keep pushing, right? And then with the right exposure simply means the right information. You know what is true. You know you're predicting. You're seeing what the true values are. Will do a lot. It has done a lot for us, for me personally. So the reason why I can be concerned about what the future looks like for myself and my environment is because I've seen something that is a bit more than what we are doing, right? Even with the whole AI thing around us, I feel like many of us don't even know how to leverage it enough. There are people that are in tech. There are people that think that they are doing a lot with artificial intelligence, but they are just doing scratching the surface. It's beyond just asking questions, being able to generate slides and stuff. Like there are a lot of things. You can literally automate your life in a sense with an intelligence because it's but we don't want to do that work because that's also work. Going to the next layer is also work. So, but if you anything that sounds like work, you run away from it. The easy part is to question and answer, question and answer. But there are other things that you can do. So to answer your question, the costs, even if you need it requires you to just be humble, speak to people, build the right relationships, be loyal, buy that course, or just spend some more time on YouTube. You spoke about discipline, like all of those little values that will help you to get the right exposure. You should actually subscribe to them because you cannot buy exposure. You have to you can't get it for free. Rather, you have to pay for it in a way. For some, if you're doing well in your career, travel it's not just local championship. No, it's travel
This
and go and see what people are doing.
she says it is expensive.
It's
They are
expensive.
making it even more
That's the
expensive.
cost. The cost of exposure is expensive. So, because if all of us are on this level, nobody is seeing beyond here, then we can just excite ourselves and say, oh, we are doing something great. Oh, you beat an app. You can send money and the person receives the money and then you're happy. It's a very, very beautiful thing. But we have a lot of problems that we have not solved. Like there are a lot of problems that we are not solving, and we are just solving the same problem. But I believe that with the kind of beautiful minds that we have as a nation, if we have the right exposure, if we have the right hearts and attitude and the right exposure, there's a lot we can do. We might not be having this conversation. The next conversation will be how to spend the money. But right now, there's a lot that we don't know,
Yeah.
and there's an attitude to knowing that you have to pay for.
You,
Have to
you
pay
know,
for it.
there's a podcast, Paul, the CEO and chairman of Landmark, he said something because he's into the hospitality business. And he said his team was doing well, but there was the next level. I know what, he booked a jet and took all of them to, is it Dubai or somewhere in the, Middle East, so that they will see this thing. I say, oh Lord.
Yep.
Some things are taught, some things are caught. You have to. Oh, can you, Mr. John? Can you talk about? We've talked about the cost. There are basic. I like always coming to you around human-centered things.
Why? Why? We're all humans.
You're more human than us. Can you talk about, he had talked about exposure and all, and there's some things he mentioned in passing. You must be disciplined, you must be humble, you must be curious. From where you are seated now, if we look back 5 years ago, there were things you were intentional about that has brought you to where you are now. Speak on that intentionality, because we are in the future. Whatever we do, as whatever we're doing now, this is the future. Like 5 minutes ago, we are now in the future. So in the next 5 years, you will point back to, oh, these were the things I did to where I am now. 5 years ago, what were the things? Because somebody out there is watching you, and maybe the person is living is in his present realities is where, yeah, it was your past. What the steps? What were those things you did to get you to where you are now? This is not where you are going to finish.
Of course.
But where you are now, talk to us about those intentional steps.
So I'm on a journey, right? And as we progress in the journey, we learn, we keep learning. 5 years ago, I would have been more intentional about how I learn or my attitude to learning, because I know that life rewards curiosity rather than competence. I know most people believe that life rewards competence rather than curiosity, but I tend to think otherwise. I think life rewards curiosity rather than competence.
But they say curiosity killed the cat. Is it not curiosity that killed that
Well,
cat?
let the cat die.
Satisfaction brought it back, have you?
Okay, there's another part to it.
Yes, no.
Okay,
Right.
curiosity killed the cat.
Satisfaction brought it back.
I bet you a lot of you don't know this thing. The only part you know is that curiosity has killed the cat.
Cat is still alive with 9 lives. Can't kill a cat like that. So.
All right.
Okay.
Yes.
So I would have been more intentional about my attitude to learning, towards learning. Someone said, wherever you are right now is as a result of your knowledge base and things you've been able to do with what you know, right? Although there are other factors that determine your current state in life, probably your environment, the choices you made. But I would say that I would have been more intentional about the things I learned 5 years ago. 5 years ago, the conversation around AI had been surfacing, but then it was not the trend, it was not the big thing. We were still healing from the post-COVID era. We're still, in the era of Zoom call, and there's internet. So AI has always been in the conversation, but we never really paid attention to it. If I had learned about AI 5 years ago, I'm sure this isn't where I would be by this time. I'm so
You would
sure.
probably
I would
be a
probably
machine learning
be
engineer
right
Really?
because right
earning
now,
$1 million.
well,
Well,
that could be.
but now,
But now that I found myself here, what I'm doing actively is, like you said, the human centeredness. AI has come to stay, and there's no dispute about that. But we have been in existence right before AI. I would say we brought AI. While AI is here, I am particular about restoring our humanity and retaining it. We're losing ourselves to these machines. And one of the things that we're losing is our critical thinking. Jerry mentioned it, critical thinking. Human beings now, there's a statistics that shows that human beings are becoming duller because we're relying so much on AI, and we're not even using it to do the critical tasks. Is the basic tasks. Oh, compute this for me. Things you literally could do by yourself. Oh, write this, compose this email to this person and then send it. These are literally what you do. Oh, write this essay for me. These are things you could do by yourself. We're just using it for the basic things. We are suspending our critical thinking prowess. This is a problem. This is a problem. There are many skits out there where people talk like ChatGPT. Like I can ask you, oh, great. How would you want me to, we're losing our humanity. I don't want that to happen. Personally, I can't control you, but personally, I am building myself. I am not averse to using AI, but I am not letting it control me. I'm not letting it think for me. I'm thinking with it. It's not thinking for me. Do you get the dynamics? Yes. So these are one of the things that we should augment it. It's here to stay. Don't fight, don't compete with it. Rather than competing with it, use it, collaborate with it. Rather than compete, collaborate. That's what I would say.
yes. So, final notes. Um, Mr. Sheung, whether we like it or not, we're in the content slash social media age too, right? Where, I want you to just, what is the role social media is going to play or is playing in the future? When you hear the future, it's not something that is happening. What is it? What is the role it's playing now? And can you just make it 2 cents?
Okay. I'm trying to be, I want to try to be very quick with this because I'm very passionate about this. Because you see, lately, there's been conversation around social media, the use, the people there, what are they saying? Are they intelligent? Which I don't want to go into that. But what I find out is we are using this tool to cement our ignorance. The position where we are, not advancing it, we are using this tool to cement the consumption culture. We are using it to cement our ignorance. Instead of leveraging, instead of using it, Africa is vastly a youth population. So what are we doing with, we're not thinking the way we are supposed to think. We have social media, but if you check social media, it looks like the algorithm is constructively engineered to keep us to the relevant things. And even those of us who claim to be educated, in quote, because education now, if you have to define it, is another thing. Those of us who claim to be educated still stay living our life on those contents. And so we leave the relevant things, feeding on the crumbs that should just be the byproduct. Those things, it's I understand the fact that sometimes when you're under pressure, those things are necessary. And there are people who will be in those spaces doing those things. But it should not be the majority of our content. If you look at the social media space, the majority of the content that we have are skits which are not intellectual skits, and it's either jokes, comedy, and religion. Jokes, comedy. As important as those things are, we're not building a system and a structure where people are intentionally engineered to want to have reasonable nation building and conversation that want to arouse your curiosity. What can we do better? Where are we going from here? Even the content you are creating, what are those things that you can put that can make it,
We will cut this part for you
people-
like this
people
and
just-
put it for them so that they will.
Somebody just bring camera.
Yes.
But while you are in front of this camera, do you imagine what you can do to the people that are listening to you? Do you imagine that you are structuring somebody's mind? Is it just joke to you? Is it just fun? Or even in the skit, even in the play, what are the information you're passing?
Yeah.
What is the content?
Ah!
Is
Can we close?
and
What
so we
is the
need to
content of your
we need to
content
do
in the
better.
future?
We need to do better in our social media
Yes.
space. And
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. The conversation can just keep going. So much wealth of knowledge and experience. Hopefully, we'll keep touching on these things in the future. Now, for the just one word for the viewer watching this right now, what one habit they can do, they can start doing to prepare them for the future? One habit, just one. Go for it. One habit, no plenty English, one habit. Sleep. Prepare them for the future.
Yes.
Wow. Okay.
People are not sleeping.
Wow.
Okay. We'll do a special podcast on that.
Wow. So I find it hard to.
One.
I would say be curious.
Be curious.
Yeah.
Sheung,
don't stop learning.
don't stop learning. Okay. Mr. Jerry.
Do the hard things. Stop doing small things.
Eat that frog.
Eat the frog.
With this, with pepper or yam.
Whatever way you garnish it, eat it.
All right, Mr. Jerry, final words.
Has he said his own one word?
Yes, he said be curious.
No.
Learn, keep learning. Yeah.
Okay.
So just,
Okay. So, I mean, like, we've said a lot of things, and I just think this is a platform that would surely would be a source of strength to someone, source of knowledge to someone. Of course, there are a lot of other things that we are planning and putting in the works, just so that we don't just have these conversations and we don't take action. So there are a lot of things that are well thought out that will come to us very soon. But thank you so much for joining. Please follow us, like, and share this content. And I know that it's going to be useful and very, very, very essential for our journey to the future. Thank you, everyone, for joining in today.